Planning a trip to Germany will require holidaymakers to make some tough choices, and one of those, I must admit, will be choosing which city to visit. Many first-time travelers to the country will be debating whether to explore Munich or Berlin before anywhere else. Well, as you might have realized, Professor Wilhelm Gutenberg lives in Munich City, and precisely Max Vorstadt, and Dr. John Taylor and his associates are flying him there. Now, while Berlin is Germany's trendy capital, Munich offers visitors a deep sense of Bavarian history and German culture. The stark contrast between the two cities will leave tourists torn over where to head first. But that wasn't hard for me. During my student days, I preferred to attend university in Munich, and precisely at the Munich University of Applied Sciences. Situated in the south of Germany, Munich is the capital of Bavaria, or Bayern for those who have that preference. And allow me to tell you something much more interesting about this city. For 3 weeks every autumn, Munich plays host to the world's famous Oktoberfest. Welcome to my channel. My name is Victor, the author of the FLYS Soldiers series of novels. Oktoberfest is the world's largest Volksfest, featuring a beer festival and a traveling carnival. Now, the festival originates with a party held in celebration of a royal marriage. On October 12, 1810, Crown Prince Ludwig, later Ludwig I of Bavaria, married the Princess Therese of Saxe-Hildburghausen in Munich. Anyways, let's not dwell so much on this. The preference of visit will almost always depend on the particular taste of a particular visitor. As it was 25 past midday, my eyes opened, and for how long and how far we had flown, I had absolutely no clue. A blinding migraine banged my head so hard I couldn't yawn. A pungent smell of carbon monoxide gave me 1,000 bowel spins. All was stock still, no engine run, no squawking signal. "John, come over." At those words, consciousness returned, and I replied, coming with a steaming jorum as though shouting from the bowels of a ghost. It was midday when I bounced out. The gentlemen conferred together before a pile of iron bars, over which I jumped. They motioned me not to speak. I guess the subject was riveting. The good professor had yielded to pressure. Plans for the digging in had been set, and a conclusive account of Jake Daniels' resolve with regards to my induction had been honored with a veiled whisper of the STM's creed at the request of Mr. Howard Green. Evidently absent, though, was Mr. Alfred Bench. As a man of great requirements, he had left for bad practice, if that awakens no surprise. He had a magnificent weakness for lap dancing, they said. He had earned his situation through an execution of a deed transferable to the STM, selling his patent rights to the science in the discovery of an immobilizing poison that killed abductor muscles in split seconds. "Even the bad guys can take a night off," said Jake. "A taxi cab is on its way. Let's get downstairs. You will have enough time to freshen up and rest before things start boiling up first thing in the morning. A clear mind, a 3-bean salad, and a bottle of scotch is what I need right now." "You have a stone in the show, Mr. Taylor," said Jake. "Perhaps you should have joined Mr. Bench's lap dance maniacs downtown to clear your head. Operation G-Prof begins tomorrow the 1st. His face painted a mischievous glow. "You know what, Mr. Daniels? Age doesn't always come with wisdom. Sometimes it appears alone. I'm begging to think maybe we should transact business on Wall Street. Say, write fortune cookies or sell suspenders later when I'm done." The man slapped me with an impish smile. "I would rather play blackjack in Las Vegas, Doc," replied Jake. "Or just run a daycare center somewhere in Boston. I love babysitting. I bet you would have a blast." Jake and Miles marched on, the pace bearing empirical depths of untold cruelty. Now, the ground floor was just a 2-minute drive by elevator. We threaded away for the exit. A taxi cab cruising at the parking lot in the meantime displaced a flock of wagtails. "Gentlemen," said Miles, beckoning us with his little hands, "I give you freedom. Let's have a blast." That was funny, believe me. Don't if you find it offensive putting up with Mr. Dawson's crap. For STM, that was the norm. But let's just agree on one thing before we have a blast. That the cross currents of the conspiracy was a resultant of compared mental notes of indifference at round tables in company with stupid recruits. It was low-key. A conscious decision to change behavior with respect to the concept of restrictive deterrence. So Vipresh was the street along which fate drove us to perceive a bright future with confidence. If you will read in between lines, was to fight reality with a million giggles. But no matter, let's just say my clairvoyant mind was having a blast. "You have a little froth at the side of your mouth, Professor Wilhelm," I said. "I am trying to alter Professor Gutenberg's fear calculus of conspirators being deceptive. That way, maybe, I won't get him to trust me more." "I haven't talked much, sir." His hands remained in his pocket. Trust only would change their position and done nothing much to his calculus. "Well," I said, "I'm your helpmeet, and we just kicked ass." One thing has been difficult to forget: the death of Spencer, my firstborn, whose life was taken by the Russian Brotherhood in the year 2000, and one before my very own eyes. "I'm deeply sorry about that, sir," I said. His hands changed position. It was self-pacifying. I saw them clasp and squeeze themselves. He had considerable proclivity for salience of objective factors, leading to strange behaviors that may sell him out. At the STM, first, a dissident lost caste. A loved one, preferably a family member, died. And then they would burn holes in your skin, holes that would stimulate, upon brilliant surgeons, magnificent inferiority in point of professional genius to have them sealed. So that marks the end of my today's episode. Please hit the subscribe button below to support the channel. Goodbye.